this is JV first game. I guess I don't know that it's C-ball, so I wouldn't call it that. We can ask Rami if it is C-ball. Yep.
Okay, so title UNC Esports Club thing, UNC JV Law versus PSU.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Updated, but not. Alright.
Change the game. I mean, the going live notification already went out, so don't worry about changing that. Also double check that I'm muted right now. I might not be. Chat. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the UNC Esports stream as we are continuing on our coverage of our absolutely lovely competitive teams. Tonight we have a very fun and exciting matchup. It's the Junior Varsity League of Legends squad taking on the Penn State Blue team here in their first match of the season. My name's Mac Dewey, and joining me, I believe for the first time on the mic, at least in the studio, is the one and only, our favorite varsity player, the one and only Rami Baba. Thank you so much for joining me in the studio today, man. How's it going?
Thank you for having me. It's going well. I helped out JV with the draft a bit, helped them with the prep. I hope it's going to go well. It should be a good game.
Yeah.
If it doesn't go well, it's just coach diff and draft diff. So I've got a lot riding on this match.
Okay, Coach Rami, what was the mission for this team headed into the week?
So we have a lot of flex picks because our top laner used to be a mid main.
Right.
So,
Alsomo, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Alsomo. Yeah. So we have a lot of flex picks that can go between mid and top. So
Right.
that was our biggest strength in this draft phase, which once we get to that, I can start talking about it. But
Sick.
so yeah, our roster is looking pretty good. We have Asomo in the top lane, Drip Irrigation in the jungle. We have the Bod Kill in the mid lane, and From Me to You, ADC, and Luxana Unana in support. So it's a good
Pretty
roster.
solid lineup, yeah.
It's looking good.
Looking at the Penn State Blue roster, top to bottom, we got Bane of Hades, Hitman, Mr. Lazy 519, Serial, and Ruck.
Yes.
I don't know if those are the right positions for them all. I think it is.
I think so.
Okay.
I think Hitman has been subbed out.
Okay.
If I was reading draft correctly, I
Okay.
think he's been subbed out.
Gotcha.
So we'll see that name soon. But
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Looking at the draft, a couple of flex picks. I think I saw a first pick Jinx on
Yes.
blue side, the
Yes.
classic move.
Yeah.
What were Jinx obviously super strong in the bot lane.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about Chem Tank Soul anymore, which is huge. For the rest of the lanes, and for even some of the players on the roster, what were some of the priority picks that you were looking to hopefully get the team's hands on here in game number 1?
Hecarim is just a really strong champion.
Yeah.
The thing about Hecarim is he's either very, very, very disgustingly overpowered or he is worthless as a champion. And this meta, he's fallen back into that pretty overpowered state.
Yeah.
And our jungler plays a lot of him. So that's definitely one of our highest prio picks, but they got banned phase 1, so that wasn't what we picked.
Yeah.
But
let's take a look at draft. Blake, could we get that pulled up? The client draft? Yeah. Let's take a look at it. Let's chat wants to know what hype picks we're getting probably. Let's take a look here. Could you also put it on our little TV? No. Oh, I got you.
all right, I will fill. Oh yeah, see, it's coming on when you do that. It's not on yet, but it was. I'll let you know when I can see it. There we go. We're good. All right. So yeah.
Sick. I can see champ select now.
So yeah, one of those other like high prio picks for us was Victor actually, because
Okay.
that's one of the flex picks we had between mid and top, and it's being played a lot in top lane. Victor's a champ. It's very strange. Corki and Victor have both found their way into the top lane running first strike.
Okay.
And so that's something we picked early. We were hoping they would counter pick it mid, which they ended up blind picking their top with Ornn.
Okay.
So once we saw that Ornn pick, we were like, we can just put Victor up there. We can give him a free scaling lane. And then they ended up picking Azir into what they thought was Victor. And it gave us the chance to go Syndra. So we're pretty happy with lanes.
Okay.
I think the lane drafts are good. We have a decent jungle matchup. Something we're going to struggle to do with this draft is survive the hard engage. But I think we have a lot of tools to dodge that. We have Syndra zoning. We have Victor zoning. We have Jinx traps. We have Zinzao ult. We have Lulu ults and shields. So UNC side has a lot of tools to play with, and we'll see how they can do it.
Okay, so I'm curious from the Coach Rami perspective here, who should chat keep their eyes out on to pop off here, and who are you hoping can step up in game number 1?
Honestly, all 5 players have the potential to do a lot here. For Mitu can do a ton in team fights.
Yep.
If she can get those resets, she can go crazy against these champs without Lulu speeding her up. I think Drip Irrigation can also go pretty hard.
Okay.
Zinzao Lulu is a pretty nasty combo.
Right.
Zinzao just gets in there, presses R, Lulu presses EWR on him, and then he's just a 1v9 machine. So, yeah, I mean, I think all 5 players have the potential to put in a lot of work this game.
Okay, cool. Well, the JV squad is about to head onto the Rift to face off against the Penn State blue team here in kind of... Do you know if the blue squad, is that their varsity team or is that their JV squad as well?
I'm honestly not sure. The average ELO is mid-high diamond, so it could go either way. I'd have to look into it and see.
Okay, but anyway, shout out to Penn State. We're happy to face off. It's all love from the studio and the caster desk here. We're going to be hopping onto the Rift in just a little bit. We're going to hop into a quick break as we get all ready and set up to go and get loaded up, okay? So don't click away from that browser. We'll be right back with game number 1 of the League of Legends JV club team going up against Penn State. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, summoners of all ages. Welcome back onto the Rift for yet another fun match of this lovely game we like to call League of Legends. My name is Mac Dewey. Joining me on the desk is the one and only Rami Baba. We are getting into game number 1 of what I believe is going to be a best-of-3 series between these two squads. UNC JV taking on Penn State University Blue. Rami, the early game setup, we got 5-on-5 pretty much streaming right down the river. Which lane do you think is going to be the most important here for kind of JV to potentially take over this game?
I think one of the biggest things this game is definitely going to be the mid lane. Jarvan really wants to try and gank this Syndra. One of the dangers with picking Victor pretty early was if he goes mid into a Jarvan, it's pretty much just free food for Jarvan.
Yeah.
If Victor doesn't have that flash, he is super vulnerable. But the Syndra has a couple more tools to deal with this Jarvan. She has the EQ combo for the stun. And the goal with mid lane here is to just try and keep Azir shoved in. We're going to see UNC JV really trying to push in through mid and invade with the Xin Zhao. The biggest thing is going to be surviving these Jarvan ganks, because if Jarvan can't find these kills and these ganks early to get his laners ahead, Xin is going to outscale him and become a monster in these team fights.
What do you think about the Aphelios press the attack? Is that kind of the norm for the champion in the new season?
So I used to run PTA on Aphelios a few patches ago, but ever since Lethal Tempo got changed, I think Lethal Tempo is just better on Aphelios. I understand the logic, though. It's pretty good into squishy champs. It lets you get a lot of burst off because...
Oh, interesting.
When you have that Severum gun equipped and you use Q...
Red gun, right?
The red gun.
Yes. You
see as soon as you hit Q, as we see the bot kill getting a lot of pressure in the mid lane already.
Huge.
But yeah, once Aphelios pops that red gun, the Q, it'll immediately proc press the attack.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
Each one of those little strikes counts as an auto attack for press the attack. So once 3 of those go off, they're vulnerable, they take increased damage. So that's part of the logic. And we see Jarvan going for a full clear towards bot side. And Xin Zhao is also pathing down. He's skipping his Raptors, whereas Jarvan is on the Wolf. So we'll see if the junglers are planning on ganking the lane or going for the crab. Currently, the PSU bot lane has the push in the bot lane, but Jinx should be able to get it back with rockets if she wants to.
Yeah.
We'll see how they decide to play this out.
Very interesting here. We see it looks like the jungle substitute for PSU, Yark there on the J4, is slowly but surely clearing away the blue buff. Drip Irrigation leaving the game. He's got a dip. We see got exams next week for Ruck on the Seraphine. Drip's back. This is the beauty of spectating. I think we narrowly avoided the window in which the game was probably paused. So we're going to keep on rolling here as we see Drip Irrigation clearing out some of the vision in the bot lane. Yark just going to keep going. The full clear is complete as Gromp is secured. Level 4 is acquired. Drip Irrigation, meanwhile, on the Xin, only level 3, and Yark trying to sneak into that bush for maybe a lane gank.
This is going to be really interesting. We saw the pressure from Syndra pretty much just guaranteeing Drip Irrigation that bot crab. So he's ahead in the jungle right now once he gets these Krugs cleared out. The biggest thing to me is we'll just have to see if UNC can dodge this gank, and if Drip Irrigation is here for the counter, it'll be a huge swing. They should crush this 3v3.
Oh my goodness. The tension is palpable here in the bot lane as the recall is started from me to you. Oh my goodness. Yark stopping the back here. We've got a 3v3 fight in the bot lane. UNC looking low, flashing away Drip Irrigation, dealing the damage. Drip Irrigation now getting low. Oh my goodness. Mr. Lazy melting UNC in the bot lane. That's going to be a huge triple kill on the Aphelios. Mr. Lazy popping off.
Yeah, it was just a bit of desync, I think. And there was just a huge wave for the red team, and that did a ton of damage from the creep. So it was a really good CC chain from PSU. I think they got the Aphelios blue Q onto multiple members, which then got the Gravitum stacks for him to pop Q. So it was just all of them snared into the Jarvan EQ, into the Seraphine combo. So they kind of lined up for the combo. And we'll have to see what the IGN again for Aphelios. I can't see.
Mr. Lazy.
Mr. Lazy, we'll have to see what he can do with this lead.
Well, he's putting in the work so far as PSU going to find themselves with close to a 2,000 gold advantage here only at the 5.5-minute mark. We talked about early on trying to shove in this Azir Serial and the Bod Kill, just trading CS pretty evenly here in the mid lane, and of course Alsomo on the Victor in the top lane, going in on the Ornn. Not going to be the most interesting matchup, but I guess Alsomo's got to be careful about the Call of the Forge God.
Ornn can pump out a lot of damage, and he really surprises people a lot of the time, but if Alsomo plays smart, it can be a free farming lane, which is exactly what Victor wants. As we see, Mr. Lazy comes back into lane with a Noon Quiver and a pickaxe. Contrast that to the double longsword from me to you. So unless it's a free gank that can punish Aphelios not having flash here, I think it'll mostly be farming for drip irrigation. But the danger right now is the wave is pushing in for UNC. So this might lead them in a pretty vulnerable state. As we have another pause on our hands.
Very interesting.
I
will say, to production, Blake, if you could pause it just for 1 sec as soon as it loads back in so we don't get any... Okay, now we're good. Beautiful. You know, sometimes, in my experience, doing the whole... spectating here, but we got a bot lane gank here. Flash on to Mr. Lazy. There's the stun lockdown. Zap's going to miss, but a whole lot of damage. Shutdown goes over to from me to you. The Lulu autos almost helping in to take down Ruck. And in my experience, after a pause, there's a little bit of lag in PSU. Lagging behind a little bit in that move. The bot kill, a huge roam down and setting up drag for UNC JV.
And that's the power of the Syndra and Azir matchup that I was talking about early. Just this ability for the bot kill to get push in the mid lane and use it to aid his side lanes. Can just put in so much work. And this, he's going to drop a cannon wave for this, but team player, team game. He gets
Let's go. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, no, we love it here. He gets the Hex Tech Drake for his team.
Yep.
A shutdown on to From Me to You. I think they might have gotten a plate as well, so that is definitely going to help them stabilize the bot lane, which is very, very important. Aphelios is going to be the hyper carry for PSU's team comp here.
Right, but that shutdown, so huge. We see From Me to You sitting on close to 1,600 gold. Hasn't even got this wave in that shoving. So going to be able to secure those casters, caster minions, I think, without too much trouble. As Yark on the J4 Rift Herald about to spawn up here. He's got priority.
This will be a free Herald for PSU, I think. Drip Irrigation is on a reset timer. Alsomo's wave got shoved in. I don't think there's much UNC can do to contest this. I would like to see Drip Irrigation go for a bot counter jungle onto Jarvan's camp, since they should know that this Herald is being taken. I don't think there's anything they can do to contest. And we'll see what the path is. Might be a blue buff handoff.
This is I think possibly my most favorite part of the game right here, where it's okay, what are these two teams gonna do here? A setup on the mid lane, bot kill, no flash available. That's gonna be the Cataclysm. That is going to be the kill. Bot kill taken down in the mid lane. Really solid setup here. And Yark gonna drop down the Rift Herald already, Rami. Quite aggressive here. They do have a lot of members. Mr. Lazy gonna be headed right back down to the bot lane as Drip Irrigation. Rami just not quick enough to take down Shelly.
I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of this Herald play from PSU. So, as you might know, Rift Herald does true damage to turrets. But as a turret loses its plating, as we see some trading in the top lane, as a turret loses its plating, each consecutive plate is tankier. It has more resists, it's harder to take down, so generally your plan with the Rift Herald is you want to hit the tower as much as you can, get it down to 2.5 plates, and then you drop the Herald. it does the true damage, which always takes out 2 and some change on the turret in terms of plates. So I'm not a fan of dropping it that early, especially because Serial, I think, walked out of gold range of the Herald. So
Right, just to back off,
right,
right?
so all 320 of that gold went into the pockets of Jarvan, which it is gold for PSU, but that's not really the champ you want to see your gold on. Jarvan
Exactly.
is going to be the same engage regardless. He's just going to go in EQR, EQR, EQR.
Yep.
Getting that gold into Azir's pockets, Aphelios' pockets would have been a lot better in my eyes. So we'll have to see if it was worth it in the long run.
I'm curious. It has been a hot minute since I have seen Ornn here on the Rift. Do you think the ornament items, the level 13, level 14 territory, the item upgrades coming in, do you think they're still as impactful as kind of the notoriety that they used to have in the late game?
I think they are for sure. Ornn items always have been good. I think they always will be good. But I'm excited to see what Asomo can do. He's running first strike on the Victor.
Yep.
I don't know how many of you remember Kleptomancy from back in the day, but champions would often run Kleptomancy into these tank matchups just to farm some gold. If you know you're not killing the Ornn, you might as well farm some gold. First strike is a pretty new rune. For those of you who don't know, the way first strike works is, as we see some trading,
Mr. Lazy's got to be a little careful here.
Yeah.
Ruck close to the red side blue buff.
Yeah.
Took just a moment to step away from lane. Some solid vision control for PSU in that whole bottom river. I see 2 control wards placed down to control that area.
But yeah, so first strike is if you initiate combat with your enemy, basically. So as soon as you enter combat, as long as you're hitting them within the first half second, I think it is, of that combat, any damage you do to that champion you've engaged with is amplified, and you get bonus gold straight to your inventory based on that amplified damage.
Straight Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Straight cash money.
You're just farming money. So if Asomo can find these just quick, like, few spell trades onto Ornn, farm him maybe 20, 30 gold here and there, it can stack up as we see a really good counter gank, but it is a 4v2.
Bodkill gonna try to flash away from this one, is so low. The Crescent Guard gonna try. Ruck finishing off the kill there onto the Syndra. Drip Irrigation getting so low, and that is going to be Mr. Lazy finishing him off. It's 2 kills in the mid lane going over to PSU.
And we'll see if they can get the rest of this turret. And they can't. See, this is what I mentioned. If they hadn't used the Herald earlier,
right,
that one plate that we saw remaining on the turret would have been a lot less tanky. And there's a chance they could have just hit the turret, and then dropped the Herald and got in mid-tower, which would have been pretty devastating for UNC.
And really solid play, I think, here from Penn State to move up Ruck to help with that gank.
Yep.
Even though Drip Irrigation coming in potentially and most likely unexpectedly to the surprise of PSU, Ruck turning out to be the difference maker to help finish off the bod kill and make sure those kills are secured. We do have an Infernal Rift as both teams have 1 dragon apiece, but it's PSU here at the 13.5-minute mark holding a 3,000 gold lead. Mr. Lazy on the Aphelios up 1k gold on the Jinx. Same with Yark on the J4, about a 1k gold lead here. We see Asomo kind of close to the realm of Yark and Serial, but right now, Mr. Lazy on this Aphelios, 4-1-1 so far, playing so well.
Yep, and we're going to have to see what he can do in these team fights, as Drip Irrigation is going for a pretty aggressive invade.
Oh, doesn't have the ultimate available, is just going to get melted down there by the Infernum. Brutal. Rift Herald going to be spawning here in less than a minute. In PSU, it looks like, Rami, are just going to be taking more control on this map as they've got Serial 3 levels up, I think, on From Me to You. This is your level 11. He's just fine handling the bot lane 1v2.
I'm a big fan of this lane swap from PSU because your bot lane is so strong. If you can swap them into the center of the map, it just lets you move to plays so much easier.
Right.
Having this very strong, very fed Aphelios in the center of the map, He can move to Drake, he can move to Herald, he can move to a side lane play. So having your powers centralized and being able to move it anywhere you want is going to be huge for PSU. And as we saw, the range of the Azir allows him to be in the side lane pretty safely, farming up against the Jinx, crashing waves, doing whatever he wants. So this lane swap is going to be very strong for PSU, and we'll have to see if UNC can recover.
How do you feel about objective bounties, Rami?
I think they are very, very strong.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Walk me through it.
It's just, if you fall behind, there's always a way for you to catch up. And what's really interesting is if you get like an ace on the enemy team, if they throw a Baron fight, if they throw a Dragon fight, you can easily get like a 2,000 gold swing because Baron and Dragon are both 500 gold bounties, I believe.
Okay.
Inner turret, I think, is 300. I could be wrong. It's in the like 3 to 500 range. So
okay,
it's there as an opportunity for the team that's behind. They can always come into play. Honestly, it's pretty frustrating to play against because in the back of your mind, you're like, if we die here, they can get so much.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll have to see Penn State University knocking down the top lane outer turret. UNC surely far removed from the thought of securing an objective bounty, but they got to try to think of how they can possibly work together to get, at least at this point, I don't think they have any shot at winning a 5v5, but maybe some sort of pick. It's Serial going in onto the bot kill. He's got him real low. Drip Irrigation is here as well as Luxana, but the Azir playing safe has the control ward in that little tri-brush there. Not going to get caught. It's 3 members of UNC unable to come up with a kill onto Serial, but they do get the bot kill out safely.
Yep. He didn't have flash up, so I think it's coming up soon. I think if the stun landed, it would have been a kill. I think Zinza would have been able to land the Crescent Strike.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, I think it's Wind becomes Lightning.
Yep.
On the W. So if the stun landed, I think he would have been able to connect that, and I'm pretty sure it would have been a kill, but I like the aggression from the Azir, knowing his limits, as he was on Ludens and the bod kill hasn't hit that mythic item yet. He is sitting on the tier, so he is stacking that up. But once he gets to the mythic, I think he'll have a lot of kill pressure on the Azir.
And hopefully on the Aphelios, Mr. Lazy opting for what looks like maybe a Bloodthirster second item.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good decision. He's playing it safe. He knows that pretty much the only way PSU can lose a team fight is if he gets one shot.
Yeah.
But I think if a stun lands from the bod kill and Drip Irrigation can follow up on it, he might still die. We'll just have to see what the damage output is like.
Is that how ADC is going to feel in 2022?
Oh, yeah. It's been feeling that way for a while, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. But if he has the Severum gun equipped and he has his ultimate available, the healing is pretty strong for that. As we see Asomo pushing in top, if he can get this turret, it'll be some nice change. And I like the fact that UNC is going for this top turret. I think they recognize that there's no way they're contesting the Drake. So instead of going there and just watching PSU take it, they're going top.
Drip Irrigation makes Hades choose here. The Gravitum going to lock down Aosoma. Drip Irrigation getting very low. It is a 2v3. Aosoma says, see you later, buddy. That is all you. You got it, Drip! I'm just going to head back towards base. Don't mind me. Drip Irrigation going to get taken down. Baron spawning in about 1 minute here, Rami. Yep. What are the odds PSU can maybe go for an early Baron here?
I think it's totally reasonable. Azir and Aphelios both shred Baron. If Aphelios can find his way onto the Severum and Crescendum combo, it'll just make taking Baron a breeze. So we'll have to see what the gun combo is looking like. That definitely makes a huge difference as far as Baron goes. And Azir just shreds Baron no matter what.
Right. We have Luxana trying to roam back with the rest of the team. No smite from Drip Irrigation. That's going to be second Shelly connecting with the top lane inhibitor turret of UNC here. It's potentially a 4v4. Serial and the bod kill. The mid laners both have teleport available. UNC JV not going to pull the trigger on that fight as They sit here about 5,000 gold down here. Still haven't quite found the fight they're looking for to come back into this one. Rami, do you think, I mean, the mythic items right now at this point are about even.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think is UNC's time to strike?
Yeah, I mean, I think they all just dinged in on their mythics. I think Syndra and Victor just hit theirs. Jinx is on his Zeal now, so I think now is a pretty decent window for them because PSU is going to be between their next item, whereas UNC just hit theirs. So I think by the next item timer, PSU should be significantly stronger.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them try to make a play for Azir or Aphelios. If they can find some way to get this Aphelios shutdown onto a carry, get it onto the Azir, the Syndra, the Zinzao, the Jinx, it'll be a huge swing for them in terms of momentum because they have 4 hyperscaling champs that can do a lot of work in the late game. And we'll just have to see if they can hold on, if they can find the right team fight.
So important to note, Mr. Lazy on the Aphelios. Look at that shield. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's huge.
Severum plus the recently completed Bloodthirster now online for the Aphelios. Going to be one tough nut to crack for UNC JV. And not to mention the Ornament online is going to be coming soon. Sooner rather than later, already at the 20-minute mark. Bane of Hades, level 13, ready to help the team out. Also looming against UNC JV as we go through the giant list of things not really going in their favor right now. PSU did secure their second dragon of the game a little bit, the 4th one of the game, and potentially soul point for PSU can be spawning in about 90 seconds here, Rami.
Yep.
So I've seen in my experience with this dragon here, do you take this fight before they get onto soul point, or do you wait for the soul dragon fight?
It kind of varies from game to game. In this game, I would say fighting the 3rd Drake is probably their best bet if you're looking at UNC's perspective. Osomo just dinged in on his Shadow Flame.
Yep.
From Me to You has the RFC now. So UNC is hitting some of their bigger items. And I'm worried that by the time of the soul, if they were to give this Drake to PSU,
right,
Ornn is going to start handing out those items left and right. He just hit level 13. He might be able to hit 14 by this Drake fight. I'll see if he walks to this top XP or not. I think he's going to. If he can get 14, he can upgrade Mr. Lazy's Gale Force, which would be very nice for this team fight. As he is very close to 14. We'll see if he gets it. But yeah, if they give this Drake and they contest the soul, I think it's just going to be even more difficult for them because Ornn will be most likely level 15, maybe 16.
Right.
And by that point, it'll be Aphelios, Azir, Jarvan, all with ornaments, all looking very big and scary.
The bot kill knows what he's up against in this bot lane. Rami, everybody on the map has summoner spells ready to go. Bane of Hades, we see the Ornn critically hitting that level 14, but it is UNC coming down here. Teleport, though, from Bane of Hades to come down right now. PSU looking a little bit split up. Bane of Hades looking to try to get grouped up with the rest of the team. Drip Irrigation going to have some trouble dealing with that weapon. PSU focusing on the dragon. Here we go. UNC trying to find a way into this fight. They do have the Jinx Rocket looking maybe for a steal. Nope, smite secured by Yark. Drip Irrigation getting so low. UNC JV going to be forced to back off without even really getting a contest there on the objective.
Yeah, and that's the thing about UNC's comp. If they are set up in the river first, it's going to be very, very hard for PSU to walk in because Victor, Syndra, Jinx all love it when champs are walking into them.
Yep.
There's the gravity field from Victor. There's the EQ combo from Syndra. There are the Jinx traps. There's a lot of tools to keep enemies out.
Yep.
But UNC has fallen really far behind, and it's very hard for them to be the ones walking into PSU because PSU has the Ornn Horn, they have the Cataclysm from Jarvan, they have the Azir Shuffle, they have the Seraphine ult. If Aphelios is on Gravitum, he has his ulti as well. So getting set up first is very important for UNC, but they're just really, really behind, so it makes that hard.
Really tricky as the gold lead is going to creep up to 6,000 now for Penn State. A lot of second items coming through for a lot of the secondary members here of this Penn State composition here. It's going to be the Luden's Tempest upgraded first here. I think Serial getting the Blessing. Maybe struggling to get blue buffs here, but he is going to be getting that Orin item. In Penn State looking really, really solid. And what's even harder to kind of do here for UNC, I mean, Rami, they're on a squishy composition. They're now going up against Penn State, who has 2 Infernal Drakes with a whole lot of damage dealers. What would be going through your mind here as a player at this moment, at this point in the game?
I'm thinking it's rough.
do you think GG go next at this point?
If it were solo queue, probably yeah. I just move on. But I think there is a chance. I'd like to see UNC try to go for something creative.
Okay.
I want to see them try to come up with a play to try and find a way back into this. I don't want to see them just roll over. If I were the one trying to think of a plan, it would just be like 4 or 5 man on Azir in the side lane or and just like try and get a pick, create a 4v5 situation, and then move to Baron. Just like try and find some sort of advantage and force a fight as soon as you can. They just need some kind of unexpected creative flip, because if they fight a straight up 5v5, they are just too far behind to where their champs can't really do the damage that they're supposed to be doing at this point. So their only option really is just finding a somewhat coin flippy play, because a 50-50 is better than an 80-20.
Right. We see here, it's been a lot of shadowing. PSU playing the map in the jungle area really, really well. We've been kind of thinking, trying to brainstorm here in the casting booth, what can UNC do? But credit, I think, to PSU for really not giving UNC that many opportunities for them to find a way back into this one, because it has been a slow suffocation so far from this UNC squad. There's only been 9 kills in the game. We're at 27 minutes.
Yeah.
It has been about 20 minutes since that 5-minute mark where Mr. Lazy was able to pick up that triple kill on the Aphelios. And it has pretty much been PSU extending that lead to what we see it now.
Yeah, I'm a fan of PSU's macro this game. They're not really opening themselves up to opportunities for punishment from UNC.
Yeah.
They know where they're strong, right? And if we saw, there were never really any plays around the Ornn this game, because as soon as Mr. Lazy got that triple kill, it's like, okay, guys, I'm fed. Just play around me.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's just free. If Aphelios is this ahead and you're not making coin flippy plays around Ornn, it's pretty hard to lose. We see Ornn popping the turbo chem tank, but he doesn't find anything off of it, as we see him tossing over the... Let me try and think of the name. I think.
How much Ornn did you play, Rami?
Not a lot, but I think it's something with Typhoon.
Oh!
It is Typhoon. Okay.
Let's go.
I thought it was something with Typhoon, but it's just a Typhoon.
The bod kill did find a huge scatter of the week there, but Drip Irrigation just going to get sniped down. From me to you disconnecting here. Everything hitting the fan here for UNCJV.
Yeah. So... I mean, we saw a pretty big stun from the bod kill, and that just shows, like, if UNC manages to find a way into that choke point first,
right?
There is a lot of tools UNC has to play with. It's just, if they weren't 7,000 gold down, that stun would be enough to, like, chunk out a carry to 70%, or like 70% of their health. Sorry, so it would get them pretty low. But at this point, they're just so behind that Syndra combo isn't really hitting as hard as it would be normally.
It still looked like it hit pretty hard, to be fair.
It did hit pretty hard.
Shout out the bod kill. Shout out the UNC JV squad for putting up a good fight here against PSU. Right now, things looking a little grim. We should be back into the game in just a moment here, as I believe the pause just ended. A very close game. Rami, I'm curious here. Who do you want to step up here in the next fight?
I was gonna say drip irrigation. I want to see him get backline access onto the Cephalios
Yep.
with Luxana's backup, but he kind of got one shot, so I don't think that's gonna happen this time. But
Yeah, the Infinity Edge completed by Mr. Lazy. They're just going to be able to melt down. That is Infernal Soul secured. Luxana, please, no. Oh, Luxana. Oh, nah, be careful. Serial close to a Rabadon's with the Infernal Soul. So much damage. Baron's being taken. The rest of the team, Serial going to be forced to flash away from me to you. Hanging on there. Wild Growth given a boost to the health pool. There's Ruck. No Encore this time around. No Jinx Rocket available. Baron Nashor and Infernal Soul secured. Look at the PSU champions. They are decked out in all sorts of colors. They've got the purple and the orange. They are ready to end this game.
yeah, Mr. Lazy is rocking the red as well with that Bloodthirster shield. He's feeling good about himself. He saw the damage that the bot kill was able to put out, and he's like, nah, I'll be fine. I've got this shield. So he's on that 3-item spike now with the Infinity Edge completed. If you thought there was damage before, there's going to be even more now. The Cephalios is really scary. Very, very scary. Tons of damage. And at this point, we'll see how long UNC can hold on. I think it's going to be pretty rough, but we'll just have to see.
UNC JV, we see from me to you getting ready to face down the siege in the mid lane. It's Bane of Hades, Ruck, and Yark shoving in this Baron upped minion wave. The bot kill coming into the mid lane as well, and there is the final boss, Mr. Lazy, doing 900 crits with Severum on the minions. They don't stand a chance. Serial gonna use the Shurima passive there, gonna bring back a turret to really lay on the pressure. There is the Inferno Moonlight Vigil coming in, called the Forge God going to miss here. All 5 members of Penn State grouping up here in the mid lane. Huge crits coming through. That's going to be a lane quickly shoved in. Alsomo and the bot kill trying their best to hold on, but it's Serial in the bot lane pushing in the turret as well. They got a war on 2 fronts. Here's Drip Irrigation going to look for the engage. Immediately destroyed as that is a Rabadon's death cap. Infernal Soul. Serial on the Azir doing so much damage. The inhibitor taken down in both the mid lane and the bot lane. We know Shelly paid a visit to the top lane. They're going to come knocking now for the full payment. 3 inhibitors down. UNC JV, they got to try something here with their backs up against the wall. Here is the final fight of the game. Drip Irrigation taken so low. There's Yark into the backline from me to you. Exploded. A huge encore. Takes down UNC JV as the Nexus explodes. Penn State Blue takes game 1.
Yeah, that was a pretty rough game for UNC, I think.
Hard for us to watch a little
yeah,
bit.
pretty hard
for us to watch.
I think there was just so much early pressure from that Jarvan. I don't think the tracking was the best.
Yep.
I'd be interested to hear the comms for that first bot lane 3v3 because I think that was just the main turning point for the game. It was the first skirmish, and I think it just led to that huge snowball for PSU.
Yep.
I did see pings on the minimap, so I think UNC knew that the jungler was there.
It's going to be a 3v3.
Yeah, I think they knew.
Yep.
I think Drip Irrigation waited a really long time, and I think that they were under the impression that Jarvan had backed by that point that they decided to go in.
Oh, yep.
And if you saw, Jarvan was in the middle of his base, and he was, I would say, maybe half a second to a second from finishing the recall, but
oh, my goodness, yep.
as soon as they went to force that skirmish, he just canceled his base, and then they got CC chained.
Yep.
I think if they had waited a second longer, it would have just been a free 3v2. But it being a 3v3 with the waves stacked up that way just made it very hard. There was too much CC. There was too much damage from the creeps. It just made it really hard.
really close match at the start there, and then Penn State. I wasn't gonna say close match throughout because Penn State kind of
Yeah.
took a stranglehold on that one pretty quickly. Overall, though, UNC, even though Penn State was playing it pretty slow, feel like they had a pretty solid effort of staying into the game. It
Yeah.
was by no means a 20-minute slaughter. They
Yeah.
held on there for a little bit. Penn State University working hard to earn that win. Do we want to take a quick look at the damage charts maybe to see who had the biggest impact in this one? Yeah, Serial and Mr. Lazy, tons of damage from the two main damage threats there on the Penn State Blue squad. Alsomo there showing up on the damage charts for his hard-earned work in the top lane, most likely. Poking down Hades on the Orin pretty much throughout the entire game.
Yeah. And one interesting thing is like
Yeah.
we can look at the bars, but something interesting is the actual numbers themselves.
Very low.
Yeah, like 10 to 12,000 damage is extremely low for a 30-minute game.
Yep.
Right? Especially with hard scaling characters like these. I think that just speaks to PSU's macro sense and their ability to get such a big lead without even forcing that many fights. They
Yep.
didn't have that many skirmishes. It was just a lot of good macro, a lot of good decision making that didn't really open up opportunities for UNC.
Yep.
So yeah, I'd like to see some changes in the draft.
Yeah, who could we talk
Yeah.
to about getting changes for the draft?
I mean, I think like going into this match, we talked about the Jarvan, and
Yep.
one of my biggest things was we're gonna have to track this Jarvan very well because mid is pretty gankable for him if that
Yep.
Syndra doesn't have flash. We had a lot of tools in the early game, and we saw the bot kill putting in work when he was able to shove in mid lane,
Yep.
get drip irrigation, that first bot crab, and then get that roam down to bot lane to get the shutdown onto Mr. Lazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just one or two critical mistakes that led to a lot of snowballing. I think PSU did an amazing job of snowballing their lead. I think if UNC were to just either ban out the Jarvan or get a better sense of tracking and choosing their fights,
Yep.
it could be a very different game in game 2. I know they have it in them. It's just a matter of cleaning up those small mistakes that got blown up.
Yeah, it is going to be very fun to watch. Again, friendly reminder, it is going to be a best of 3 series. This was just game number 1. We have got more League of Legends action coming right up in the next little bit. We are going to head to a short break as we get all set up and ready to go. But don't click out of that browser. We will be back right here on the UNC Chapel Hill Esports Club Twitch stream here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll be back in just a bit. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the stream. A little bit of a different look for us here in the Carolina Gaming Arena studio. But you know what? It's JV night. I wanted to mix things up for draft. So I've got the Mac Dewey board. Bam. Here's what the draft looks like for game number 2. We've got blue side. We've got red side. Chat, let me know which team you think won draft. And we'll find out which one's rich when we hop onto the Rift. Rami, you helped orchestrate this here draft. What do you think?
Well, first, I think your spelling is off,
Ooh.
but I'll fix it for you.
Points
Don't worry.
off on the Mac Dewey board. Dang. Okay.
It was an interesting draft. So PSU got their original jungler back, so we had to switch up the ban.
Yes.
So instead of us...
Hitman is in.
Hitman is back. So instead of us banning the Viego, we instead banned his Lee Sin.
Bam.
And we didn't really feel like we needed to ban, I forget our third ban from game 1, but we didn't really feel the need to ban it.
Okay.
And so we subbed that out with an Aphelios ban.
Okay.
So then they picked Senna first, which is pretty interesting. I've always been a fan of the Jhin Senna matchup for Jhin.
Okay.
And one of the things we talked about was we just wanted more setup for ganks. We wanted more consistent angles for early skirmishes. So we decided to go with a Jhin pick, who he has that deadly flourish to set up ganks pretty easily. And then we went with the Jarvan. So Jhin, deadly flourish into the Jarvan EQ combo. It's a pretty easy to execute gank. And as most of you probably know, Tom Kench has been changed since the olden days of Senna TK. So he no longer has that eat option available before level 6 to protect Senna from those early ganks.
Precisely.
So early on, I'm looking for some bot ganks. I'm looking for the Jarvan and Jhin to work together with the Bard, get set up on bot lane. And then they answered the Jarvan pick with Diana.
This is let's freaking draw all over it. All right, so Senna gets picked first.
Right.
Answered with the Jhin. Did you like that matchup?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a fan of that. So that's 1 block and then 2 block.
Oh, sick! A different color. Let's go.
And then
Green's
this.
actually my favorite color.
So this was phase 1, and then we were trying to decide which lane we want to blind pick, because as red side, the way these rounds go, if you don't know, is like this. So
I tried to separate it a bit, but it didn't. The Mac Dewey board is a bit of a work in progress.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for more Mac Dewey board antics. But anyway, continue.
Yeah,
Sorry.
So we decided to blind pick mid.
Okay.
The bod kill is a fan of the Veigar pick, and
yes, he is.
I actually like it. Having the cage available for Diana really cuts off a lot of her angles.
Okay.
It'll help protect the carries, who Jhin and Veigar are pretty immobile. But having that cage to cut off an angle for Diana, because once Veigar sets up that cage, you actually can't dash through it.
Okay.
Your dashes will get canceled. So we went with the Veigar blind pick, and we banned some bad matchups for it.
Zoe and Vex, for those who don't know.
Oh yeah, it might be a bit small. And then they responded with Syndra, which is a good matchup for Syndra. I'm expecting Syndra to get the early push. We'll see what he can do with that. And then they decided to blind pick Darius. And we were going through the options.
The spiciness that is the bottom half of this draft we see here. Obviously, for you guys who are League of Legends veterans, we know that Red Side has the 5th and final pick, getting the option to see all 5 of the blue picks here. They go for the Darius, which we know we love here on the UNC Esports stream. Shout out, as always, the one and only Samadare, a.k.a. Adopted Allen, a.k.a. ARAM God. Anyway, what do you think? How did you kind of... I mean, we see the Darius pick. If you guys haven't guessed yet, UNC's on red side, PSU's on blue side. So it's going to be Alsomo on a very comfortable Camille pick for him. I think we saw that a little bit before he whipped out this champion. So what do you think about the matchup?
So Darius is very, very aggressive. He just wants to steamroll you, but Alsomo's pretty comfortable on the Camille. The way this matchup works is just if Camille can survive to that first item, I'm really hoping he ran TP Ignite on Camille.
Okay.
if he did, and if he can survive to that first item, and he can get that Sunderer, he should be able to just all-in Darius, get the Ignite off, kill him in a few Qs.
Okay.
The biggest thing with this matchup in the 1v1 skirmish itself is if Camille can use that Hextech ultimatum and dodge out the Q from Darius,
that's huge.
it'll put
a
in
little bit of outplay potential.
Yeah, it'll be really spicy to watch. I hope we can keep our eyes up there and see what goes down. But yeah, it should be a banger game as always.
What are we? Oh, we're in game. All right. Me and Rami are gonna go behind the desk. We're gonna throw away the Mac Dewey board. Oh, I have to be careful not to break anything. But we're gonna hop into game 2. Starting now, we're going to switch mics, get the crispy headset boys back on, and hop on to the Rift for game number 2.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, summoners of all ages, welcome back onto the Rift. Here we are in game number 2 of this best of 3 series. It's Penn State University blue team on the blue side this time around for game number 2. They dominated in game number 1 after an early triple kill set up Mr. Lazy for success. It's going to be UNC JV looking to come back and even up the series with some spicy picks coming out. The bot kill exhaust Predator Viger locked in for the mid lane, and Alsomo following Coach Rami's instruction to a T. He's got the teleport ignite going into the Darius matchup.
Yeah, this is going to be such an interesting game, and I have a few things I want to point out as we see them all just doing a typical 5-point, no invades. So let's go down the list. First off, as you mentioned, TP Ignite versus Ghost and Flash for the Darius. It's just going to be a brawl up there. We're going to have to see who gets the better of who in the matchup. This can really go either way.
Yep.
Early game, I think it's better for Darius, but if Kevin or Alsomo can survive the early game, get to that first item, I think he can win out. And then in the mid lane, we see the Corrupting Pot start for Syndra versus the Dorn's Ring for Veigar, which says a lot about their game plan, as a really, really nice dancing grenade from me to you lands a bit of damage. But something interesting that I haven't seen in a while is the fasting Senna.
Yeah, neither have I. And honestly, I'm a bit of a Senna fiend, Rami. I'm not gonna lie. Senna's one of my recent favorite champions.
Me too. I used to love playing Senna back in the day. And oh, see, this is very nice trading in the bot lane.
Okay.
Huge trades. I love to see it. I don't know. A lot of you might be watching the lock-in tournament going on in the LCS.
Yeah.
E.G. Danny, probably my favorite ADC in the LCS right now. He busted out the Senna actually. And he played it farming. As we see a gank from Drip Irrigation.
Oh, that's the
on
ignite. Here's the hook shot. Flash. Hook. Oh, there's the EQ. The Dragon Lance. Alsomo getting so low. The pots. Is that going to be enough? Hades going to be just fine. Alsomo walking away as well. Bane of Hades going to be down Ghost and Flash. Alsomo just using the ignite in Drip Irrigation on the J4. Very aggressive here early on. Doesn't use any of his own summoner spells.
Real spicy. And what's going to be really interesting, while Bane of Hades didn't die, as we can see, his wave is crashing. If Alsomo is able to threaten a freeze here, it could lead to a very sticky situation for Bane of Hades. I really like him locking it down.
Okay.
And
that's pretty good.
And Drip Irrigation is back up here. He has Flash. Darius has no Flash, no Ghost. And let's see if they can get the damage off.
It looks like Hitman in mid lane. This is going to be an easy 1v2 in the top lane. Hades taking down first blood. UNC.
Yeah, Alsomo's really low from this. I'd like to see him thin out this wave a bit, try and reset and leave it frozen in this position.
Okay.
If he can get this reset off, get back to lane, it'll be really good for him. Darius without sums is very vulnerable, and as we were discussing earlier, if Camille can get through this early lane phase, she is very, very happy. Um, this did result in a pretty big CS lead for Hitman on the Diana. He was able to secure both crabs for himself and get a reset off. So Drip Irrigation found the kill, but he has a later reset. So we'll have to see what jungler can do more, as we see actually decent trading for the bot kill in the mid lane. He has another pot, he just popped it. Serial has a corrupting and a biscuit left though, so it's good dodging on the Qs though from the bot kill, so he's handling himself fine in this lane. He is down quite a bit of CS, but him not dying to these ganks early is pretty good for him.
It looks like Alsomo's wave right now, Hades just gonna hack away at it himself and try to even it out a little bit here. I love the intense micro that goes into managing a wave really, really well.
It's fun to watch.
There was one blue melee minion, I think, and it was 3 casters apiece. So I think for the most part it should kind of stay like this. But you got a lot of casters right now stacking up on Somo's side.
Yeah, this should push out towards Bane of Hades soon on this next wave crash.
Right.
Bot lane, pretty big CS advantage from me to you. That's to be expected in this lane. I really want to see UNC go for these early dragons. They have a stronger bot lane in the skirmish. They have setup. They have the lead. They have more damage. They should be getting these early drakes. So I'm hoping to see them do that soon.
What do you think about Mr. Lazy going cleanse on the Senna?
Oh, I did not see that.
That's kind of interesting, right?
I'm not a huge fan, honestly, as we're going to see a 2v2.
This is going to be interesting. Everyone level 5 except for Alsomo, who has level 6. They don't know Hitman's here, but this Diana not level 6, but the burst coming in, Drip Irrigation, and Bane of Hades going to fall here. It's a one-on-one. Alsomo going to just walk away. Hitman might be looking for level 6 here. He's going to hit it as Serial going to be roaming up the river. The Trinket Ward in the bush. Not going to spot him out as he's just going to back up and pack his bags to mid lane. Rami, overall, it's a 1-for-1 in the top lane.
You know, if we're being completely honest, I think that's about as much UNC could have asked for. Considering Drip Irrigation wasn't able to connect the flag and drag on the Jarvan, I think a 1-for-1 is pretty good in their eyes. And that kill going over to Alsomo is huge for him. Bane of Hades is now at 2 deaths. He's died quite a bit, and I said it time and time, and I'll say it another time. This early game, Crab is gone. But
poor Drip Irrigation. Oh goodness, just can't get his hands on a scuttler this one as Hitman already rotating down. Luxana quite low from me to you in an awkward position. And that's going to be PSU getting control of the river. Rami, a very quick rotation for them to pick up that objective.
Yeah, and that's just the Diana getting a pretty big CS lead. After Bane of Hades died, Diana was left to live to collect the majority of that wave to keep it in a decent position for Bane of Hades. So while he was dead, Hitman was just able to grab that wave, but it has resulted in a good lead for Alsomo, and I really want to see what he's going to be able to do with this lead as we see a good gank angle.
Serial, you're stuck in the cage, but he's able to flash away. Drip Irrigation now very, very low. Has to back off. The bot kill does have the Primordial Blast. There he goes. Serial taking down the bot kill. No minions.
He got creep blocked, and it made him take an extra shot.
Oh my goodness. Poor bot kill. Gonna get taken down. 1-for-1 in the mid lane.
Veigar's a pretty small champ, but I guess not small enough to make it through the creeps. Minion block has always been annoying. Cost him a death right there, but still decent, I think. Syndra missing her flash should be a pretty big chance for Drip Irrigation to get more ganks down. He is level 6 now. He has a Cataclysm available, so I'm hoping to see him make use of that soon.
Hitman, though, on the other side of the rift. Now, Bane of Hades pretty far behind in this Darius Camille matchup, but there is hope here for PSU Blue. Hitman is in a very, very solid position to start making some plays. He's got flash. He's got the ultimate. ready to go here. Going to start channeling the recall. Rift Herald is up and available, but with UNC having the advantage on the top side of the map, doesn't want to go for it just yet.
And this is kind of what I wanted to see last game from UNC as far as how Hitman is playing. Jarvan wants to go for these early ganks. That's what his champ is designed to do. He has very consistent crowd control and gap closing at an early level.
Oh my goodness. Bodkill trying to get it. Here comes Drip Irrigation. They know Serial has no flash available. Deadly Flourish. Rami, come on. They're not giving it to the ADC. What the hell?
I think that's still an amazing play. That's exactly what I want to see when that Syndra does not have flash. The
stun connects. CC chain. Oh, Hitman dealing a lot of damage. And from downtown. Oh my goodness. Curtain call. Is it going to be able to finish off Hitman? He's got it. Blue suede shoes on. Tempered Fate going to miss as well. Luxana, they want this kill. Alsomo watching it as well, but Hitman, he's just going to run to the Raptors, running away from Luxana. Down 2 levels, has to be very careful. Here come Raptors as well. A stun connects. For me to you, not coming. Oh my goodness, what an ultimate from Mr. Lazy to come in.
As we'll see him try and get out of here. He doesn't have flash. A really nice Deadly Flourish connects for the root, but
Ignite as well, slowly but surely ticking down. Oh, from me to you. Come on, another Deadly Flourish. Maybe note Hitman.
That's pretty sad. I'll be honest. It was a really, really close kill onto Hitman. They barely didn't get it, and he was just able to pick up so much farm that he just had so much burst damage. Yeah, it was pretty close, just unlucky. Like you said, a really good ulti. And
Ignite, ultimate to dodge the Q as well. Hades doesn't get anything going for him.
And we're starting to see it happen, right? If Alsomo can dodge that first Q from Bane of Hades, it's a pretty free kill.
This is hilarious. Cyril getting chased down, has to be careful. Luxana survives. Oh, no, gets taken down, but the bod kill going to be finishing off that kill. I think my favorite part of that, Rami, was seeing the Predator up Vigergen running at Serial. For me to you, though, that is going to be nothing she can do under turret. Mr. Lazy working with Ruck there to pick up that kill.
I think UNC shining light in this game is the top lane matchup. As we see, Camille was able to survive early game because of some good ganks from Drip Irrigation. Okay, he should be fine. But yeah, so as we saw, if he can use the Hextech Ultimatum to dodge that first Q from Bane of Hades, that's a bleed stack gone, Conquer stack gone, and just a lot of raw damage gone. So if he can prep his Q1 ult to dodge the Darius Q, get that true damage off, get the Ignite off, it's just a ton of damage. And now he has that Divine Sunder spike. If you've played against Camille, if you've played Camille, you should know she's a one-item champ. You get to that Sunder, and all of a sudden you're doing so much damage, because if you don't know, the way Camille works with a Sheen item is all of that bonus damage on the Sheen gets converted to true damage on the second proc of the Q. So all that juicy damage that would be a % max health magic damage just gets converted to true damage, and that's going straight to the health bar. So Alsomo's going to be packing a punch for the rest of the game now, and I really want to see him push his lead, call pressure from the team, and just shove in Bane of Hades and get pressure on the side.
Let's see here. PSU picking up the Rift Herald as UNC picks up the second dragon of the game. 1 dragon apiece. Turret plating, only 50 seconds left, Rami. I don't know if PSU is going to be able to use Shelly to grab any bits of gold. Alsomo controlling the top lane very well. Distinct item lead there for the Camille's. We were just talking about the Divine Sunder power spike. We also see Drip Irrigation, 6 kill participation out of 6, doing the Lord's work. 100% KP has got the Gore Drinker, so he's got the mythic item online. So UNC, not too shabby of a position so far.
I really want to see Luxana do some mind reading here. See the Diana, book it down to bot lane with that Bard ulti and cancel the damage from the Rift Herald.
Oh, here we go. Oh, snap. No, he should be able to do it.
I think PSU just forgot. And
hey, let's go! No turret planing. Drip irrigation looking for the fight. We got to find bot lane. Blake, let's do it. Bot kill going in, dropping down the baby cage. That is Hitman taking
Flank
down
from
first. Shut down
Alsomo.
good. Alsomo coming in. You can't go anywhere. Mr. Lazy taken down next as Ruck stuck in the Hextech ultimatum. Going to try to use that gray health shield, but UNC JV showing up in the bot lane.
Just beautiful.
5-man, baby. Who said 5-man were dead?
As a coach, this is exactly what you want to see. Your team is playing to their strengths, right? Alsomo's like, guys, I'm huge. I can afford to TP and miss a wave.
Right.
I don't care. I'm going to still beat this Darius. I have TP. Let's do it. Let's go bot. Let's translate the lead. A lot of times in solo queue, if you're weak-sided,
First turret secured.
and you see your big, strong top laner getting all the ganks,
Right.
just hold on. They're going to spread the love eventually. They'll come pay you a visit in your lane, get you a kill. And that's what Alsomo did. He found a really good TP flank. And as I was hinting at, I loved it from Loxana, reading the mind of Hitman, just thinking, where's this Herald going to go? Let me just follow it. And using the Tempered Fate to cancel out the damage from Rift Herald, just huge. I really love that sequence of plays from UNC, and I'm hoping to see more stuff like that.
Old Coach Rami sitting on the casting desk, feeling like a proud papa who's just seen his chickens fly.
Oh, yeah.
UNC JV, they've evened up this game just about, only 500 gold, give or take, separating these two teams as Drip Irrigation. They got the control ward in the river bush, setting up here, making sure Alsomo is protected up here in this top lane. Doesn't have flash on the Jarvan, does have the Cataclysm though, as that's going to be an ultimate heal, barely keeping from me to you alive. And it's an interesting difference here from game 1 in game 2. We saw in game 1 PSU move the bot lane to mid lane. In the Syndra that UNC had, the bot kill not really able to threaten the Aphelios all that much, but this time a bit of a different game. Serial very much able to threaten from me to you on the Jhin.
I want to see a bit more aggression from Alsomo in these few waves. I think he could have been a bit more aggressive, honestly. Like, you have Hextech Ultimatum, you have that Ignite. I think he wins 1v1, and he has Drip Irrigation backing him up. So I would have liked to see him E onto the Darius a couple of times there before Darius resets for his Mythic, but I can respect playing it safe. No opportunity to throw his shutdown,
Right.
as we just saw those disappear. So we'll see if they decide to get aggressive now. And we have Cloud Drake spawning in 1 minute. This time there's no TP for Alsomo, but the bot kill is pretty strong on this Veigar, and him being involved in so many takedowns.
Oh my god.
I mean, there's
Is that the one item power spike you were talking about?
Spike. As we see him go back in again, I wonder. Like, it's just some short trading, but
Stun connects onto Ruck. Does have the gray health potential for the shield. A huge 200 health heal coming out of Mr. Lazy's Senna, as he's feeling pretty good. Got the pretty much fully stacked, I think, support item there at the 17-minute mark. No surprise. Plus the Eclipse.
Yeah, I was just about to mention the bot kill is pretty strong on this Veigar, and being involved in this many takedowns, I think once you have your ultimate, oh no, I think it's just part of the passive, but
you get 5 more, right?
You get 5,
Yeah.
As soon as you participate in a takedown, whether it's
153?
whether it's an assist. Oh, as there was a solo kill in the top lane from Alsomo.
Oh my goodness.
But, I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? You hit that one item spike, you have the Ignite, you just win. Like, you straight up, you just win once you get to that spike. So good stuff from him. Finally turning up the aggression. I love to see it. But
does have Unleashed Teleport available here to come down, make this a 4v5 fight. PSU has to be careful about trying to start this dragon. Serial
the bot kill
and
has a good
Hitman
position here.
going to try to leash it out. You're absolutely right, Rami. This could be a little bit of a pincer maneuver here. Hitman trying to catch out the bot kill. He's going to try to go in with the ultimate here coming in, but a huge exhaust. The bot kill not worried at all. Ruck going to try to pressure the Viger. The bot kill just going to back off. Dragon is secured. UNCJV now going to try to turn this fight around. Here comes Bane of Hades as well. This could be a 5v5 in the bot lane as PSU running away. Drip Irrigation deleted as UNCJV going to have to try to turn this one around. Oh my goodness, huge engage. The bot kill gets deleted. It's a 1-for-1 trade as Serial gets taken down as well. Overall, a 1-for-2 as PSU Blue turn that one around. They're going to be picking up this turret, Rami. Alsomo's got to be careful as from me to you in Luxana. Just going to have to back off. 4 members of PSU in the bot lane. They're continuing to push, Rami.
I would have been really satisfied to see UNC just leave the Drake after they got it, because Hitman committed his full combo onto the bot kill as, a really nice stun into root.
Alsomo's got to be careful. Bane of Hades getting real low. A lot of shots coming out of the curtain call. 4th one just going to get eaten up by Ruck as PSU Blue going to be able to safely back off.
So as we saw, Bodkill is running exhaust, which is pretty huge this game because honestly, like, the only real threats onto Veigar in this game are Diana and Syndra, right?
Yep.
And those are both just very heavy burst AP damage champs. So if he's running that exhaust, it's pretty hard to one-shot him, honestly, especially since he has Mercury Treads as well. So after Hitman used his full combo onto Bodkill, but Bodkill was able to exhaust and walk away, UNC just picked up the Drake for free because I think Ruck also used his, I'm trying to think of the name, but it's hard.
Abyssal Voyage?
I think that's it. Yeah, he uses Abyssal Voyage to go help Hitman, and it just gave UNC the Drake. So I think after that, they could have just walked away happy, because if you're UNC right now, you're just thinking of your win con. It's Asumo, just straight up. He's so strong in the side lane here. You just want to do everything in your power to enable him, keep him strong, and just taking that Drake would have allowed him to just back off, go back to top lane, and be happy.
We see now Alsomo still in the top lane, but it's been the bot lane for PSU that have now roamed up. Mr. Lazy going to be able to handle the top lane wave as Ruck going to help out this fasting Senna. Very interesting. Looking like it's working out pretty well so far. Again, Rami, you've been talking about Alsomo in this top lane. Absolutely what UNC should be focusing on going forward. And in fact, PSU going to try to move around Bane of Hades a little bit, but Alsomo headed down to the bot lane to kind of match this. Darius going to get spotted out here as we get into the macro game of League of Legends. Sir. As we approach the 22-minute mark, only about 1.5K gold separates these two teams. PSU Blue with a big advantage in pretty much the jungle as well. The bot, like pretty much everyone else is pretty even, but we see here Tom Kench, 6,400 gold. Luxana on the Bard, 1K gold, down a little bit in that area. So speaking to what PSU have set up for themselves here in this draft.
And that's one of the thing about AP junglers in particular, is we see
Alsomo gonna get caught, maybe even in a 1v3 in the spot lane. 1v4 PSU Blue. This is what we were kind of hoping to see UNCJV try a little bit in that previous game, trying to put a lot of pressure maybe on that that pesky Azir that Serial was playing in the last game. They're able to pressure Alsomo here, but UNC trying to rotate into the mid lane, not really able to get too much as Drip Irrigation in the bot kill. Looking for something in the top lane. Serial gonna get caught out here. A whole lot of damage from the bot kill. Beautiful setup. Bing, bang, boom. Easier than the J4QE combo.
I mean, here's the thing. Let's be honest. Camille, pretty OP. Really, really, really hard to lock down in the side lane. And we saw PSU commit 4 members to the bottom side of the map, and that just allowed Drip Irrigation and Luxana to control topside vision in PSU's jungle in the blue side. So they knew they had control there. They knew they had the numbers there, and they felt comfortable going for that risky dive under the tower because they knew PSU members were all bot side, and they had the window, they had the burst from Veigar. to just lock down that kill very quickly.
And for this dragon, it's going to be a little different here as we see Serial teleporting into the mid lane, going to clear things out very quickly. Dragon spawning here in 5 seconds. It's looking like this is going to be a very huge fight. 5-on-5. Everyone's here. It is like Smash Ultimate here in the river. Oh my goodness, Bane of Hades locked down so low. Taken down the bot kill. He's on a killing spree. Alsomo blown up. Unleashed power. Double kill so far. As Luxana taken down next. Drip Irrigation, got to be careful from me to you. And the bot kill just going to have to back off here as PSU Blue going to be picking themselves up a Drake. It is now 2-2. Overall as 1k gold lead for PSU.
I think it was a good cage to start off with, but I don't think Alsomo and Drip Irrigation needed to commit so hard onto that target for a few reasons. Veigar has enough damage to either just chunk out or fully kill the Darius on his own. And honestly, 0-5 Darius in a team fight isn't really the priority target, I think. Like, trading yourself for a Senna, a Syndra, a Diana, I'd be down for that, but going that hard for the Darius, I'm not the biggest fan of. I think the bot kill could have done, as we saw when his combo landed, Darius was at like 20% health.
Right.
And they can just take that chunk, and there's no way for Darius to get in when he's that low.
Yeah.
What's he going to do? Like, we saw him try it at full health. How is he going to do at 20% health?
Right.
But 2-for-1 isn't the end of the world. It was a good punish by PSU for sure. And Hitman on this AP jungle on Diana is able to just continue to farm faster. As the game goes on, AP junglers just farm faster and faster because the way their abilities work with items. They are typically AoE damage, high scaling, as we see the Predator and the Slow forcing a flash. And I want to see Hitman continue to farm.
Oh, meanwhile, Alsomo going to be taken down in the side lane. Rami, both teams trying to attack the solo laners as there goes Hades, but that's all the cooldowns for the bot kill. Ruck caught in the cage. Stun comes through. Snipe downtown. Mr. Lazy picks that one up from mid lane as Ruck and Serial going to keep on looking for the fight. Drip Irrigation going to try to get out of here. PSU with the numbers they want to try to look for a fight here, but a much different composition for them in this game. They're going to start up Baron Nashor, and they're going to try to look for this objective. I was just about to say they're going to be doing it slowly, at least compared to last game, but they're pulling it off right now, Rami.
Yeah, Diana does a ton of damage to this. For me to use popping the curtain call, a really good Tempered Fate to buy some more time.
Are they going to be able to stop this one? Baron getting low, 2k health. Here comes Alsomo trying to get onto the back line, but the damage is just too great. PSU Blue blow up the UNC top laner. That's going to be huge. Baron secured for me to you, trying to flash in. That ain't it, Chief. Double kill going over to Mr. Lazy as the shot in the dark for UNC just comes up blank.
I respect the attempt. I'm here for it. I'm down for a bit of flashing in with a fourth shot. Honestly, I probably would have just given the Nash. Like, it sucks to give it, but I think using all these cooldowns to try and like have a 20% chance at stealing it, it's too high risk for this stage in the game. I think giving the Nash isn't a game breaker, right? Like, if you give them the Nash, it sucks for sure, but I don't think the game is over. But them losing the Nash and using all these cooldowns is going to make it pretty rough, honestly. We'll have to see how they can hold on. I think the side lane is still fine for Alsomo, and we'll see what ends up happening there. But he's catching a top wave. The Siege isn't the best for PSU against a Veigar.
Oh my gosh. Mr. Lazy is at 129 Senna stacks.
Yeah. He's pretty big. He's got some range on
him.
With
rapid fire cannon, by the way. This is the point in the game on Senna where I just sit back and you outrange everyone by just such a funny margin that you can step up, one shot, two shot, get the soul, and just deal so much damage. PSU Blue got to be feeling comfortable, especially with, look, he can auto turret without even getting into range. It's ridiculous. Senna with a huge gun. Mr. Lazy having yet another big game here. Alsomo going to try to 1v1 Hitman in the top lane. That's going to be the Crescent Sweep missing. Ultimate is available, but Bane of Hades and the rest of PSU Blue, they're coming in. You leave our jungler alone, Alsomo. He's going to be forced to back off the bot kill, not getting anyone he wants. Stuck in the cage. Drip irrigation, got to be careful pushing up like this. Mr. Lazy taking a little low from me to you. Having trouble, I feel like, connecting with some of these big shots, Rami.
Yeah, honestly, one turret with a Nash isn't the end of the world. Oh, wait, they got two. Still not the end of the world.
Still winnable.
Yeah,
still
I mean,
winnable.
It's definitely still winnable. UNC has a lot of win cons in this game.
Yep.
And I really want to see them try to play to it. I want to see them capitalizing off of this cage from Veigar. I want to see Alsomo looking for good flanks, looking for combos. I want to see the cage zoning off Diana in these fights. So there's definitely potential for UNC to still win.
Cloud Drake has spawned. No one's on soul point. It's 2 dragons apiece. Drip irrigation going to get stunned up. Uses the stopwatch to try to buy himself some time. Going to try to flash away. EQ combo out. Doesn't get rooted, but Hitman still looking. Does connect on.
He's vulnerable here.
Bod kill. Oh, that's going to be the Zhonya's Hourglass use. Tempered Fate coming out. Going to miss onto Hitman. Only going to connect onto Ruck, onto the Tom Kench. Not ideal for UNC JV is... Rami, they're just going to have to back off and I think give up this dragon.
They're going to have to give it. This Diana is just so strong at this point in the game. She picked up some kills. She farms so fast as the game continues to go on. She's just very strong. We saw Hitman threatening the backline of UNC, but he wasn't able to connect, and he almost got punished, but the Zhonya's got him out. And Ruck always has that Devour ready to get anyone out of danger. And Mr. Lazy has cleanse.
Oh, the bod kill. He's got to be careful. He actually gets stunned up here. Abyssal Voyage coming in. Rook
kind of
taking up the turret. That's going to be the turret destroyed. That's going to be a kill. Primordial Burst. Hello. And goodbye. A 4v4 in the bot lane here. Another huge cage onto Hitman. Cataclysm locking down the Diana. Huge shutdown. It is a 3v3 as Alsomo's coming in as well. Curtain Call going to try to slow down the retreat just a little bit. Serial going to be able to get out of that one. Luxana destroyed by Mr. Lazy. Gets sniped now. It's a 3v3. Bane of Hades taking down the bot kill. But here is Alsomo coming in. From me to you, it's a 2v2 now. Serial no mana. But Mr. Lazy just shows no slide to show it down. Alsomo answers right back with the shutdown himself. A crazy fight in the bot lane results in 4 kills going over to each team.
And if you're the team that's behind, if you're UNC, you love an even trade, right? Like, an even trade is a trade up when you're behind. And I really liked the bot kills cages there. They were perfect. And that was an example of how much work they can put in those fights. He caught Hitman in the cage.
Yep.
And if you're Hitman there, your goal is to dash onto the backline, right? But if that cage is in your way, if you're stuck in the cage, you can't get out. If you dash, you're gonna get hit. You can't go through it. And as we saw, he couldn't really do anything except just sit there and watch Bodkill throw abilities at him and one-shot him. So I really loved that fight from UNC. They played to their strengths. For me to hit some really nice deadly flourishes on the back end to pick up another few kills. Alsomo, I saw that Q on the creep. Okay. I saw that. We'll be talking about it later, okay? I'm not going to pretend like it was perfect, but I love seeing it. It's what I wanted to see.
We do have Baron Nashor spawning up here in about 15 seconds. UNC JV down 6,000 gold as we've got a much more skirmish-focused game, dare I say, here in game number 2. I think both of these teams getting a little bit more comfortable, getting the game 1 jitters out of the way.
Yep.
18 kills apiece in this one. I think we had about, what, like 10 or so kills in total in game number 1.
Yes.
Game number 2, certainly a different story as... it's been a bit of a fight between a lot of different heavyweights, blow for blow, going back and forth. Nobody going to be starting up Baron Nashor just yet, potential Cloud Soul spawning for Penn State here in about 2 minutes, Rami, as
I mean,
well.
triple the kills, triple the action, triple the fun. It might be a bit more fun because UNC isn't losing as hard as they were in game one,
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm really enjoying this game so far. I'm seeing really great things from both teams. UNC in the past few minutes has done a better job of playing to their win con, and
Right.
I think this is a good example of how if they were to just give that Nash from earlier, they would be in a much better spot because I think they gave over maybe
Two,
1K
two or
to
three
2K.
kills as
Yeah,
well, yeah.
yeah. Like they gave over a lot of gold trying to steal the Nash. They
Yeah.
used a lot of cooldowns. And I think if they had just given it, maybe gone for a bot tower, a mid tower instead, I would have preferred to see that. But
Yeah.
it's still, as we said earlier, very winnable, very close between these two teams. I think at this point, it's just going to come down to execution.
Luxana quickly taking the portal away. Hades actually going in here a little bit. Gonna find the apprehend. Luxana got to be careful. Flash is not available. Gonna be taken down. Here's the Moonfall coming in as well. Drip Irrigation running for the hill. Sterax Gauge cooldown burned as well. That is huge for Penn State as they're going to be looking to get Baron completely uncontested. I don't think UNC has an opportunity here, Rami.
Yeah. And that's Darius. Once you get that Dead Man's Plate, you have Triforce, and you're on the Cloud Rift, you're going to be zooming. And I think it caught UNC off guard. They weren't ready for Darius to catch up to them like that, and they got caught by the apprehend. And once you're caught, it's pretty hard. But Osomo's getting good pressure in the side lane still, and I really want to see UNC try to one-shot this Drake. They have true damage from the Camille. They have Jin's 4th shot. It might just be too late, though. But they might be able to get a pick before the Drake fight itself. As we see, Bane of Hades is still in the bot lane. Osomo is spotted out. But UNC has first setup, and as we were talking about in Game 1, having first setup in the river is so important, especially when you have champions like Syndra and Veigar that want to control zones.
Let's see here. Hitman looking to clear out the wave as the Baroned up Penn State University Blue Squad looks to pick up this soul. Look at the flank here, though. Drip Irrigation going to get exploded as a flank out of the backline. Now Somo trying his best to find a huge 3-man moonfall into the backline. Hitman taken out. He's got the assassination. He's got your card. UNC JV gets taken down as Penn State, they find the perfect engage after getting the perfect Baron, and they're going to be shoving the wave up the mid lane.
Yeah, we saw Drip Irrigation and Osomo sitting in the pit. Drip Irrigation had the scanner, and he spotted out Bane of Hades, but I think Bane of Hades dropped his trinket ward into the pit. He saw Drip Irrigation, and he apprehended over the wall, and Jarvan loves flying into the enemy team, but only on his own terms.
Not like that.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Really?
PSU Blue find the Nexus after game number 2, and that is going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, our best of 3 series concluded in, of course, for us, unfortunate fashion. PSU Blue taking down UNC JV in 2-0 fashion. Shout out to them. GG's. A very well hard-fought series between the two squads. Yep. Certainly a closer game, too, which
for sure.
I see as a bit of a win, guys. You know, we would hope not, if not anything, but to see our teams improve from the course of one game to another. And I like especially that, hey, we didn't see a defeated UNC come back in game 2 demoralized or anything after that first game. Coach Rami gave him a solid pep talk, and they put up a really good fight there in game 2. So let's take a look at some of the damage numbers here. A bit of a different story here in game number 2 versus game number 1.
Bodkill putting in a ton of work, but Lazy... Is it Lazy Man? Or
Mr.
Lazy. Sorry. Mr. Lazy was just able to put in a ton of work on this Senna.
That Senna was kind of nasty.
Yeah, he was able to just chill in the bot lane, farm it up. UNC had a very top-sided focus, which I am a fan of. I think it worked well. The only thing I would have liked to see change a bit was their mindset and how they wanted to play macro.
Okay.
Instead of forcing so many team fights, I would have liked them to play for the split more, like give a Drake and just take a top turret, take a kill on the top side with the Camille. We saw Asomo getting those solo kills pretty early on.
Yep.
And that's something he could have been doing all game. But again, I think it was still a pretty good game from UNC. I'm happy to see what they did in the game, especially after game 1. PSU, a really strong team. I think they are the first seed in our conference.
Okay.
And so this is a round robin style. So UNC should have an easier time next week. I have really high hopes for what they're going to be able to do next time. So yeah.
Hey,
looking forward to it.
GG's overall. That's going to do it for tonight's stream. Thank you guys so much for coming out and supporting the JV League of Legends Club squad. Coach Rami, thank you so much for joining me on the caster desk. I've been Mac Dewey. Thank you guys so much again for watching. We will catch you guys soon. We've got some more streams coming up. CLOL on Saturday.
Yes.
Right? Let's go. 4 p.m. the default time, I believe.
Yes, it should be.
Let's go. Love me some CLOL. We've got Smash Weeklies on Sunday, and boy, oh boy, next week's going to be packed. We've got like a lot of seasons starting up. Lots of UNC Esports streams coming y'all way. Hope everyone has a good night, and we'll see you guys next time.